Well, good morning and welcome to Over the West Nurseries, where we grow lots of really good garden plants, ones that are especially selected for their performance here in our northeast and mid-Atlantic zone. Lots of really good plants that I think you'll enjoy growing in your garden. And if you're interested in finding out more about them, can I suggest that you click and subscribe to this channel, and then as we produce these videos, which we do inside the nursery on a regular basis, you'll be first in line to see all of the gorgeous varieties that you might want to consider growing in your garden. And if you're interested in a highly unusual shrub that produces absolutely gorgeous flowers that really put up with the heat and drought of the summertime remarkably well and bring you this unusual color, then let me show you this beautiful variety of Rose of Sharon or Altheas. This is Hibiscus syriacus and the variety is Blue Chiffon from Proven Winners. For here is a simply fantastic plant that puts on a terrific show during the summer months and lasts all the way into the autumn time too. Growing to about 8 to 12 foot high by about 6 foot or so wide, it is a beautiful plant that produces lots of flower buds that really put out a terrific show with these large semi-double flowers that have a really very nice kind of dark maroon color at the back of the fluffy lacy leafed centers. It's a plant that, as you probably know, has been around for a very long time. That's what I mean, the Altheas or Rose of Sharon. You see them in older neighborhoods, you know how reliable they are, you know what a terrific display they put on, and also how they attract pollinating insects, butterflies and hummingbirds. But this particular variety is really outstanding for a variety of reasons. The first is not only does it have this beautiful unusual coloring and lots of flower buds, but it's also nice and vigorous and strong growing. Years ago, as a young man, I used to try to grow one called Bluebird, which had this kind of similar coloring, but it was a weak grower. I'm glad to say that this is much more vigorous. It's also a hardy zone 5 plant, so it'll grow anywhere in our region. And also, it's really a triumph of breeding from a dedicated and very talented breeder called Roderick Woods in Norfolk in England. Roderick has really dedicated his retirement to breeding some fantastic varieties of hibiscus, and this particular variety, I have to say, is probably one of my favorites. Now, my love affair with hibiscus goes back many years, where I used to try to grow them in the UK, and I have to say that in the colder, rainy and wet climate there, they didn't flower too good. And that's what's exciting about this variety, because it loves our conditions here in this region. Loves to be in a sunny, open position, loves to have all of this kind of summer heat, and it brings lots and lots of very valuable color to our garden at a time when frankly it's often kind of a little on the drab side. And that's why it's important, I think, that you go into garden centers at different times of the year, not just in springtime, but go in during the summertime and look for plants like this, because that, of course, is the secret to a really good garden. Now, speaking about the UK, there's a wonderful saying by a man called E.A. Bowles, Edward Augustus Bowles, a very famous English gardener. He said, and I think this kind of captures the conditions for growing this plant, he said they love to grow with their feet in a well and their heads in a furnace. So that gives you some idea as to how you can grow this wonderful hibiscus. The trick, as he describes, is to grow them in good, moist, free draining soil that's rich in humusy conditions so that they get lots of luxuriant growth, because they grow on the current year's wood. So the more growth you get on it, the more flower buds you're going to get, and then of course the flowers. But also they really love our sunny, dry, open summers, and that's, if you can create those conditions, how you're going to get lots of these gorgeous bright lilac blue flowers. Now, one final thing before I finish, can I suggest that you click on the link provided in the description of this video. It's a link to the Plant Hunter blog written by Tim Wood. In there, Tim has very eloquently written about the breeding background of this fabulous variety, but he also describes all of the dedicated and very talented work that went in by the breeder Roderick Woods. Lots of really fascinating things that I think will help to convince you that this is quite simply a fabulous variety that you should have in your garden. This is Hibiscus Blue Chiffon from Proven Winners.